Former British Prime Minister Sir Tony Blair has once again landed at the centre of a political storm, not for a speech or an election bid, but for a sweeping critique from his own think tank aimed directly at the government's energy strategy. Sir Tony Blair's organisation, the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change, has published a major report sharply critical of the UK government's approach to energy policy and the transition to cleaner power. In its latest intervention, the Institute argues that current plans are pushing up bills for households and risking Britain's long-term economic competitiveness. At the heart of the think tank's argument is a call for a rethink of the government's ban on new North Sea oil and gas licenses, a move introduced by the current Labour administration as part of its clean energy agenda. The report urges ministers to reverse this ban, saying that expanding domestic energy production could support jobs, protect skilled workers, and reduce reliance on imported fuel. The Institute also targets the windfall tax on oil and gas companies, which it says has deterred investment and accelerated the decline of the North Sea basin. Its authors claim that phasing out the tax and allowing new exploration would unlock billions of pounds in economic value and strengthen the UK's energy security. In addition, the report criticises the government's ambitious plan to almost entirely decarbonise the electricity system by 2030, suggesting the policy is driven more by political symbolism than practical economics. The think tank says this targets risks driving up energy costs for consumers, a point that has been seized on by opposition parties and industry commentators alike. The intervention has reignited debate not only about Britain's energy future, but also about Sir Tony Blair's continued influence in national politics. Once a dominant figure in the Labour Party, Blair has long championed a centre-ground approach to policy. But his think tank's willingness to break with the current government's priorities underscores growing tensions within and beyond the party over how best to balance environmental goals with economic realities. Government spokespeople have defended their strategy, insisting that the clean power transition remains the best way to bring down energy bills and secure Britain's future as a low-carbon economy. They argue that renewable technologies and efficiency improvements will deliver long-term benefits for consumers and businesses. Critics of the think tank, however, say its recommendations appear to lean too heavily on fossil fuel interests and risk undermining the UK's climate commitments. Some environmental groups and analysts have pointed out that expanding oil and gas production is unlikely to significantly lower prices in a global market where energy costs are shaped by international supply and demand. As this debate plays out in Westminster and across the media, Sir Tony Blair's intervention, delivered not in Parliament but through a powerful policy institute, shows just how central energy policy has become to the national conversation, and how sharply divided opinion is on the path ahead.